What's up, guys? So, long time no video. It's November 2018, and do a quick update video on the tank. No major changes up here. I moved a few things around. I'll show you some corals, but fish are the same. Tank's basically the same. Maintenance routine is the same. Not much. I moved this colony of candy cane coral because it was just getting shaded too much. You can see this Monty is just taking over up here. I moved the Duncans over here to get a little bit more light and a little bit more room to grow. And all the fish are hungry. I think they're going to get fed. But this tank, the 180, is fine. No changes really at all. This sort of centerpiece coral is just monstrous and needs to get fragged up, but no, really nothing to report. Corals are growing, things are looking great, water quality is good, so stability is the key in a reef tank, and this tank is pretty stable. The only thing I've really dealt with, and I'll talk about this when we get downstairs a little bit, is calcium and alkalinity demand. That there's just so much coral that I'm using so much two-part that I have started to think about a calcium reactor, and I've just been doing a lot of research on that. Lights are doing great. It's probably time for some new bulbs. Those are ATI Blue Pluses with my Hydra 26 HDs. So I've just been kind of thinking about a calcium reactor as a way of dealing with the demand for calcium and alkalinity. But otherwise, corals are fine. Everything's fine. Alkalinity swings just a little bit depending on, the strength of the kalkwasser that I'm adding. I try to be consistent with it. But so my alkalinity swings anywhere from like 8.1 to 8.5, somewhere in there. I test it every day, first thing in the morning. So I keep the alkalinity pretty low. Just because I've had issues with high elk in the past and corals getting burned, and so I just have felt like the lower the alkalinity is, the less issues I've dealt with, and I know it can impact like coral growth and things like that. But I'm not looking for things to grow out of the tank. I'm not fragging for sale and things like that. So this tank is doing great. Looks great. It's just an absolute joy to sit and watch the fish and the coral, and then over here there is one little change. I won a MP10 as a part of a anniversary sale raffle at Caribbean Forest, which is one of my local shops. So thank you guys. It's looking great on here, working great. And there's my AI Prime HD tank. This tank's doing great. Corals look good. They seem to have responded well to the increased flow. And some of these toadstools have sprouted multiple new heads, which is cool. And I'll probably frag some of this and stick it in the downstairs tank. Just to add some coral to that tank. But up here, nothing really changed. Tanks are doing great. I'll take you guys downstairs. There's a little bit of change down there that I'll show you. So we are planning on finishing half of the basement, which is the half that this tank is in. So I built these kind of crappy open canopies that I couldn't access the tank from the front before because I had like the plastic sheeting up there. And so at least now I can get in here, clean the glass, clean the sand. So that's helpful, and it'll look nicer when the room is finished. I'll touch this all up and trim it out and make it look nicer. This was just took me, just a day with a circular saw to build, just something to keep all that humidity in and something to look a little nicer. But this tank is doing great. My blonde nasotang died 2 days ago randomly, and that was sad. I loved that fish. I did add a couple of fish. I don't see any signs of ick or velvet or anything like that, so I don't know what the cause of death was, but the fish are all doing fine. I'll take you in here. No other major changes back here besides changing the canopy. Just trying to keep as much heat in this area as possible. It is expensive to heat this much water in the house. We do have solar panels on the house. You can check out, I have another YouTube video up about that. And the solar helps, but in the winter, you're just not producing as much solar. Frag tank is doing great. Anyone local looking for pieces of Monty or bird's nest, please come take some. I'm in Rochester, New York. Please. Filtration, nothing new. All the same. Everything's doing great. I just did a water change this morning. A 20-gallon water change. So, just kind of maintaining things. I know a lot of people have been asking for updates on the tanks. Nothing new. I don't know if I've shown this before. I got a new skimmer. It's a Beckett skimmer. It's working great. Pulling out a ton of junk, as you can see there. I run it pretty wet. I just needed something a little bit bigger for the size of this system. I also added a dehumidifier in here to try to keep the humidity down as much as possible. I'm just trying to avoid any major issues with the house. It also helps heat the room a little bit, which is not a problem in the winter at all. Maybe in the summer it will be more of one. But otherwise, yeah, that's it. So thanks for checking it out. Feel free to comment, ask any questions, and I'll talk to you guys soon.